Hello everybody and welcome to Lawrie Goes Loco. This is going to be the first time we feature a steam locomotive on the channel, so I hope you're going to enjoy it. Today we're visiting the East Anglian Railway Museum, situated in the old goods yard at Chapel and Waitstone Station. The society began in 1969 and the first train ran here at Chapel in 1970. The plan had been to establish a base here, because it was rumoured that the Sudbury to Marks Tay branch that runs parallel to the site was going to close down, and the society would then be able to move in and operate trains on the 11-mile branch, something like 11 miles. But sadly, it never shut, and so the society's been stuck here in the goods yard ever since, running up and down this quite extensive quarter-of-a-mile bit of line. And on to today's locomotive. We're looking at something that's not actually based here, but something that's visiting just for a special event for the East Anglian Railway Museum's gala. And so a massive thank you to the 813 Preservation Fund for allowing their locomotive to come to us, and to the Severn Valley Railway for allowing the locomotive to leave its home. Today, we're looking at 813. And isn't she gorgeous? She was built in the June of 1901 by Hudswell Clarke for the Port Talbot Railway. And she was then numbered PTR, Port Talbot Railway, number 26. In 1908, the PTR made an agreement with the Great Western Railway, basically to stop a rival railway from becoming too large. And so these engines joined the Great Western Railway stock register. The Great Western Railway didn't actually own them, they were kind of on loan, but still a major programme of maintenance was undertaken by the works at Swindon. And thus began the process of Swindonisation, which for number 26 was basically the provision of many standard Great Western fittings, like the injectors, the tapered buffers, having the two whistles, the Great Western style safety valves, this very obvious brass safety valve cover, which is higher than everything else on the engine. I mean, normally engines are a fairly flat and level top, the chimney, the cab, all in line. No, not with number 26 or 813 as it became. Massive, great brass safety valve cover, which is standard on all Great Western engines. The boiler was also westernised and it received a new smokebox complete with a Dean-style smokebox door. One of the later and more substantial modifications was this, the addition of a standard Great Western 2-ton coal bunker, which involved extending the locomotive's frames by 6 inches and giving it a second buffer beam. Following the Railways Act of 1921, number 26 joined the Great Western Railway proper, but it didn't assume its new identity of 813 until it emerged from Swindon Works in 1924, by which time the Great Western Railway was starting to look at modernising and getting rid of some of its older tank engines, of which this was one of them. So 813 was sold off and it went to Backworth Colliery near Newcastle upon Tyne. In 1947, it became part of the newly formed National Coal Board and it became their number 11. In 1950, it received a brand new boiler from Hudswell Clarke, the original builder. And what followed in 12 years was a brand new firebox. And these are some of the contributing factors to the reason it was preserved, because a boiler and a firebox are very expensive, and having brand new ones, well, that was good. By 1967, the demand for coal was declining. And with more modern and efficient locomotives available, National Coal Board number 11 was put up for sale again. And this allowed the newly formed 813 Preservation Fund to purchase the locomotive for prosperity. And it cost them a whopping £320, which I know back then was quite a lot of money. But it still sounds like quite a good deal for this delightful little thing. She then went to the Severn Valley Railway, arriving in the November of 1967, but it would be 9 years before she would see steam again. She was then used on the railway, but then suffered a major mechanical failure in 1976, which saw her sadly sidelined. But in 1996, the decision was made to restore her back to her Great Western configuration, and she received a major overhaul at the hands of the Severn Valley Railway's own workshops at Bridgnorth. By 2000, this was complete, and since then she has been a regular performer on the Severn Valley Railway and has gone off and visited railways all over the country, of which we are the latest. Fully loaded with coal and water, she weighs 44 tonnes. She holds 900 gallons of water in the tank, 2 tonnes of coal in the bunker, and with her 16 by 24-inch cylinders, she develops a tractive effort of 17,410 pounds. So, let's set about bringing her to life. First off, we need to remove the warming fire and clean the grate. Once we've done that, we can lay our new fire and then ignite.
So with the fire lit and me looking suitably grubby, the next thing to do is the preparation, which is oiling up, which means trying to get into there. Oh, stupid locomotive. Silly game. Stop. Right, so I can get to this, I can get to that there. Good. I can get to that one. And I can't get to that, can't get to that. Well, this is, well, I can get to this, that's fine. That's fine. How am I going to get, I've got no idea how I'm getting over there. That's going to be, I need to come underneath. So, just about got enough room in here to reach up either side of the connecting rod and chuck some more into there. Stand on here, can just about see what I'm wheeling up. This is very awkward. This gets a 1 on Lawrie's accessibility. So some oil into that, good, spilling everywhere. And I've got the eccentrics to do 1, 2, 3 and 4 across there, which are, frankly, going to be very difficult. In fact, I think I might put my dirty overalls on and slide in from the top. Good. Oh. Stupid locomotive. Like, most inside. Oh. Most inside motion locomotives are a challenge, but this one, I'm straddling. Oh, no, straddling. I'm straddling the main connecting rod, and it's not very comfortable.
You need some padding, do you?
I could do with some padding. It is working its way into places it shouldn't be working its way into. But it's often for a internal motion, inside motion locomotive to be difficult. But this one is definitely taking the winning at the moment for being a pain. I think a lot of it is how they've stopped it and put it on the pit with the big ends right facing backwards, so I've got no space between the back of the middle axle and the firebox to actually work. But luckily I am a young and nimble man, so fitting in through this either running board to get on top of the motion is fun. I know stories of City of Truro that the only way to get to the motion on that was to do this between the running board and the boiler and to get it in, and a certain larger gentleman just physically could not do it. Whilst in this position we have the axle boxes here to chuck some oil in as well. And it's got a bottom feed as well, and just fill it up with oil. This is so uncomfortable. And I'm out of oil. Don't suppose you've got another can, do you? The pecans are the other lubricators I need to get to. We've got the little ends and these pots here which are for the slide bars. So I can get to that one just by pouring in the general vicinity like that. This one by doing that. And now it becomes a bit more difficult. Everything's in the way. Oh. Yep. That's one. These are an addition by the East Anglian Railway Museum to stop rubbish getting in, because normally they're open. So, all in favour of the little covers. A bit more oil. And that one. Oh, this is so awkward. Oh God, how do I get? I can't. No. Help. It has these plates here, like protectors for the back of the springs, and they're just in the way of being able to get to all of the lubrication. They're in the way at the back, they're in the way at the front, just generally in the way everywhere. So having wasted a very long time and several oil cans worth of oil on the inside of the motion, because it is a pain, and let's be honest, you don't want to watch me struggling for more than a couple of minutes at a time, we move on to the outside motion, which is very simple. Plug, cork out, chuck the oil in, like so. Lovely. A bit too much oil, I'll wipe it off in a minute. And then also while we're here, we have little holes there, little filler points for the axle box. So we'll just fill the axle box up. Little point there. And just repeat. Filler point here. And we're going to have to move this because the counterweight of the wheel's in the way of the axle box. Oh no, I can get to it. That's fine. Fill up with oil. And then the same on the other side. And then we'll be almost ready and almost finished prep. Under here, there are two more oiling points where we can put in steam oil, which feeds directly to the cylinders. And yeah, I've already done it, so I don't need to do it again to show you, but chuck some oil in there, and that just ensures that there is some oil in there when you start off. You don't have to wait for lubrication to force any in there. There's oil to start off with. Now, I know Great Western engines have the reputation for being awkward to oil up, but this, as I said earlier, isn't actually Great Western, it's just been Swindonised. And I don't know if it's any more difficult than anything else I've worked on, and I'm just going, oh, it's Great Western, it's a pain. But he's getting a 1 on Lawrie's accessibility. Because it's a pain. We don't have a fancy digger, or a crane, or a conveyor belt here to pull off an engine. It's the old-fashioned manual way. It takes an awful lot of coal. An introduction to the cab of A13. The regulator is here with this nice extender piece on it, so you can actually see where you're going whilst using the regulator, because originally, being here, all I can see is the front of the cab, which is useless. The reverser is here, which is a nice big reverser, and there's a nice foot peg here, so you can actually yank it backwards and forwards. The counterweight is very strong in a forwards direction, so you have to kind of brace yourself, otherwise you go flying forward with it. It's got a combining brake here, so this is vacuum and the steam brake, which is lovely. The large injector is that position, and that will generate vacuum, and the small injector is this up here. Of course, it's a Great Western design, so it generates 25 inches of mercury rather than 21 like the rest of the railway world used. That's it. Cylinder cocks are down here with the nice foot activated off switch, which is lovely, and then pull it back to put it back on. Very good. Shh, off. Then the blower control is here, and here is the control for steam heating. Being Great Western, of course, it has a beautiful thing, it has 2 whistles. You can go, which is just fantastic. And I know my entire day is just going to be made up of using 2 whistles. And then 2 gauge glasses. Because it wasn't built by the Great Western Railway, it has 2 of the things rather than Great Western practice, which is to only have 1 and test cocks. So it's actually nice to have twin gauge frames on this. On this side of the cam, we've got the handbrake over here, then steam feed for the injector, the water feed's tucked down here for the injector. We've got the rear damper here, control for the front damper here, and then this lovely system of 3 little taps along the side. So if we open this, no water comes out. So we know there is water below this point in the tank. Open this one, water comes out. Thus there is water above this. So this is not quite a gauge like you have on some bigger engines that have a nice float system, but it's much better than most industrial engines, which is have a look in the tank and work out how much water you've got. So I really like that. Also on this engine, we have a slacker pipe. Now, most engines I work on don't have one of these. So I'm quite excited to finally have a go with one of these. And you can see from the dampness on the floor, I've already had a go. This works on the injector system. So when I have the injector on, forcing water into the boiler, I have a tap down here, which allows me to blast some of it down this hose, which means I can clean the floor. So hopefully today we're going to have a nice clean floor and wash all the coal dust and all the muckiness away, and just make a bit more of a nice work environment to be on this engine. This is quite a nice, large, spacious cab. I mean, especially compared to the other industrial locomotives that I'm used to. I mean, at this engine's home base on the Severn Valley Railway, they have much bigger engines. So for them, this is very small and, you know, condensed. But I'm loving it. There's enough room to move around. I can actually turn, which on some of the engines I'm used to, you actually physically haven't got that much room. But it's very nice. All the controls are somewhat easy to get to. From standing here, I'm like, yeah, I feel I can get to everything and still look out where I'm going. Everything's, it's not too hot. There's lagging in the right places. It's all very well thought out. We've also got these nice little windows here, which open for the air conditioning. If I get a bit too warm, put that through there, and that's the air conditioning on, so we don't get too hot. Because already I'm feeling very warm, and you could tell from the dirt that it's going to be a hot, long day. But I'm so excited to get going on this.
What is A13 like to drive? Well, it's quite wonderful really. We're just coming up and get the brakes off, and away we go. Such a nice regulator. It's so easy just to knock it over and feel the power come on. There's the audible plunk as the valve expands and touches their faces and seals. But it's so nice. It just gets the hang of it. Took a trip. Even less than that, a little nudge. You really get a sense of power with it. The action of throwing it over and shutting it is just lovely. Coupled with absolutely fantastic bark, it's so much fun. The noise is amazing. But the best bit. And I've been doing this all day, and it's not begun to wear off yet. I'm still very much enjoying that. The combining brake, really good fun to use, very easy to use, and works remarkably well. Obviously this type of brake is meant to be used more when you're out on the run, on a proper long run. It's so nice and controllable for this. You just knock the large injector off, let the vacuum leak off a little bit, and it's a lovely little speed control, especially on this nice long downhill gradient. Very impressed. So nice. It is genuinely the nicest thing I've ever had the opportunity to work on. Hello. Makes a big change for me. Most of the stuff I've driven so far are industrials, which have the standard kind of Loco brake and a vacuum brake as well. So combining brake and moving on to that, very nice. It really is really nice brake. It just inspires so much confidence in you. And for the vacuum, it's again very quick to react as well. So again, it is combining, so it's working on the Loco. There's very little, such a good combining braking. There's no real delay, there's no shock as one works over the other. It just all works remarkably well together. It just allows you to bring the engine to such a lovely controlled stop. Oh. I don't think the Severn Valley realise how lucky they are having this engine. It's just superb. Thank you very much. The ride in here is also fantastic. It rides really well. I mean, it is 6 coupled, and a lot of what I've been on before are 4 coupled engines. so it's a lot nicer, but it really gives a sense of power as well. You feel like this engine would go just miles without having a single instant. It really is a locomotive you want to go for a journey on. You want to take it to a proper long railway, like the Severn Valley, and have a go. And really experience it at a bit of speed, on a proper load. You want to make it work.
I mean, we're coming up with 1 in 55 and it's still making.
Yeah, well,
I want to give you some idea.
1 in 55, the railway turn is actually quite steep. The steepest in this country is 1 in 13, that's ridiculous. But 1 in 55 is quite a hill. And it's like it's not even there. The train I've got today is 4 wagons, 2 great vans weighing about 20 tonnes, and 2 wagons about 12 tonnes. So including the engine, we're not that much more than 100 tonnes. And it should pull a lot more than that. I would really like to have a go at seeing what she's like moving a big train. So I've seen her go past with a much bigger train, making some really good noises. It's nice, like some big engines you have are too big for a place like this. You know, they need a good run to actually do anything. Whereas this really gives the feeling that it can do anything and go anywhere. It's quite happy being on a small railway here at Chapel. We're happy to do the 16-odd mile trip at the Severn Valley. It really is just a do anything, go anywhere engine. It's fantastic. It's so nice. Everything. Got the road? Lovely, thank you very much. Brakes off. Take the bump. And away we go. The reverser though, when going backwards, is totally in your way of getting the regulator. If the regulator did not have the extender handle, you wouldn't be able to do anything. It does sound so good. Come on. There's plenty of space as well for me and my fireman. There's plenty of space to move around. We're not on top of each other. There's room to swing the shovel. From a firing perspective, my fireman tells me that it steams like Billy-O. This is Peter, my fireman for the day. Again, it's meant to make steam to run a bigger train on a bigger railway. So here, he's basically just having to keep the fire alight. But it's an absolute joy to fire. I had it a couple of days ago.
At the road.
Thank you very much. And it's a lovely engine to fire. It behaves so well. It does pretty much what you want it to. It doesn't run away. It makes steam when you want it to. If you ask it not to, it sits there and sits. So out of everything else that you find around here, how would you rate this compared to them? Would you put this in the top, bottom, in the middle?
I think they've all got their own sort of pros and cons. So it's definitely more spacious. I'd say it'd be good if you were on maybe your first turn, something like that. Some of our smaller engines present a bit more of a challenge. We're a bit more steam hungry for our line.
This doesn't drink at all, does it? Like you sit,
nothing at all.
You sit there and go, oh, I've got a bit too much steam. Do you mind getting rid of some? And,
yeah.
And at the other end of it, it's like it's still got the same.
Yeah. Nothing really seems to eat the steam. You've got the road.
Thank you very much. It really doesn't seem bothered by anything, does it?
I don't. It's not been below about 130 all day, regardless of what we've done to it.
And the gauge casters are nice. There's a nice reserve of water. We do a little run like this. It hasn't actually used that much. It's just a lovely thing. It's such a lovely thing. It's an amazingly good piece of kit. The only real downside isn't the engine's fault. I just want to go further on it. it's far too short of a ride to really appreciate such a really, really good engine. I've never driven anything that brought such a smile to my face for so long. A lot of engines I drive, like, this is nice for an experience, but I'm not sure I want to do it forever. No, this one, this is like I drive it forever, every day of the week. And I still love it, just the same amount. Apart from in the morning, I hate it every morning, but once you finish loading up, I then love it again. I don't think I'm really doing it justice, just how good this thing is. And nothing in here leaks. Everything is a good fitting. Everything works as it should. It's just springboard. It's just brilliant. Everything's tight, everything works. Nothing leaks, there's no drips. There's no suspect noise of what's that dripping off. Just so good. The way the cab's layout is, again, it was probably, you can see it was designed in the day by a proper company who knew what they were doing. Also has the other mod cons, like the seats are really nice when we're sitting around not doing anything. We can sit down and have a break. We also, in times of bad weather, have these side panels that we can pull across, give us a bit of protection. And then when poor weather comes, one can certainly live with this cab. And to be fair, in all honesty, there's nothing I can find to fault this engine on. It's almost perfect.
You have the road.
Thank you very much. Apart from this annoys me greatly. Such a sense of power when it starts to shock. A proper reversal with many notches, you can actually not jump on a run. It's designed to do a run. The engine I was working yesterday, because I was here yesterday for their gala, which will be several weeks ago by the time you guys watch this. We have 2 notches. To be honest, it's such a proper engine. It just feels great. Very lucky here at the East Anglian Railway Museum to be able to have this here. It's just been so much fun. It's so good, every beat is just perfect, there's nothing off it. It does exactly what you want it to do all the time. There's none of it fighting you or it making up its own mind what it wants to do. It's happy the whole time. It's credit to the guys who maintain it. It's absolutely spot on. It's very well maybe the best steam engine I've ever driven. In fact, I think there's no competition. It is without doubt the best small engine, certainly. It's the best small engine I've ever driven. I've had a massive grin on my face all day. It's just so amazingly good. It's also, for a steam engine as well, remarkably quiet. But yeah, we have the sound of the vacuum ejector working. But nothing knocks, nothing bangs, nothing squeaks. It's so good. So many engines, you know, they've got running problems, running issues, little niggles. This thing, absolutely not. It is just, it's absolutely spot on. I can't stress how good it is. Time for my favourite bit again. So good. I was very fortunate to do some shunting with this. I found it to be a remarkably controllable engine to do shunting with. Something that's a bit bigger than what I'm used to. Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed it. What a cracking little engine. I don't want this to go home. I really don't want this to go home. It's the best thing. But the nice thing for me personally will be when I go and see it elsewhere, and I see it at the Severn Valley or wherever else it ends up visiting, I'll be able to, I've driven that and I know it's a cracking engine. If you haven't seen this thing already, I can only recommend getting yourself to a railway. Severn Valley, or I think it might be going to the Emerson and Bolton this summer. Get yourself along and go and see this thing in action, because it is a phenomenal piece of kit. And from the days when the Great Western Railway was proper and decided they Swindonised everything. That's what's lovely, that I can see out the front of me is the lovely green, Great Western green tank, and then that brass safety valve on it, just reminding me that the Great Western really did have a feel on this engine. Oh, it's just brilliant.
So a massive thank you to the 813 Preservation Fund for letting the engine come and visit us here at the East Anglian Railway Museum. We have absolutely loved having it. It's been fantastic. We're going to be really sorry to see it go. And also thank you to Severn Valley Railway for letting it leave its home base and come out on an adventure. And if you guys want more information on 813, there's a link to their website in the video description, and it will flash up somewhere here on the screen. Equally, more information on the Severn Valley Railway, that's in the description of the video. And if you guys have liked the look of the East Anglian Railway Museum, then yeah, and again, a link to their website is in the video description and on screen now. If you liked it and you want to volunteer, get in contact. We're always looking for more volunteers here, and it's a really nice little society. We get to do quite a lot of mucking around and driving trains. So yeah, have a look on the website and come visit us sometime. The website's got all the open days for the railway. And you know what, it's a really nice day out. The Transport Festival is quite good. I'm really hoping to have Jupiter here if it's working, which being Jupiter, there's always, I don't know, but I should be driving number 11 on those days as well. So hope to see some of you guys there. And so that's it for this month's Lawrie Goes Loco. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with some people who, you know, like-minded, might enjoy seeing a steam engine, and leave a comment. Have you enjoyed seeing my first steam engine adventure? I hope so. And let me know if you've enjoyed this glorious old locomotive.
So if you've enjoyed this video or want more standard gauge action, click up here. If you enjoy the narrow gauge, click down here.